So a very specific example of where a large existing company is kind of exemplifying the new business model idea is in the shipping and logistics industry. Recently the very high infrastructure cost of investing in new fleet and new vessels has made and forced the companies to look to each other to collaborate and essentially share fleets. The first companies that did that in the industry were the first ones to benefit from shared costs and efficiencies through that route. And the other companies that were in the industry found themselves needing to look to each other essentially and do the same thing. And very quickly the industry as a whole adapted and evolved to move much more towards a shared fleet and shared ownership model. And the cost structure of that industry completely changed after that. And it's led to an evolution of how the shipping and logistics industry does business. Fintech companies often benefit from the fact that they're born digital, so they can get into the industry very quickly. The specific example is in the consumer loans industry. Consumer lending is a business and a marketplace model that benefits very well from high levels of consumer interaction. And if you can get your consumer interaction right in that industry, then you'll really get your business model right. And the approach that the consumer loans industry has taken, successful businesses have turned to the very cliched approach of using apps. But it's worked for them because the app is a very direct way of getting into touch with consumers, and it's allowed them to expand their footprint very quickly. So if you did nothing in terms of looking at your business model or considering whether digitalization and innovation has a place in your strategy, you really run the risk of being pushed out of the marketplace if you're a large company. And if you're a small company trying to make inroads, if you don't approach it with an innovative and a digitization approach, someone else will be, basically. In the time that we live in, there's going to be another company that's starting up, presumably with very low startup costs, and you'll be pushed out. So my biggest piece of advice, very simply put, would be ready to change, but always considering whether the change is the right type of change. Think about where you should be looking for that change, and not necessarily just looking internally. If you're a very large organisation, as is the case with the shipping and logistics industry, you can be looking to your competitors and seeing how using them and actually changing your business model to be more collaborative with your competitors rather than trying to come up with a piece of innovation to break your competitors is actually the best way forwards.